Hey everyone, it's Jube here. Thanks again for tuning in to my new channel. I really appreciate all the subscribes and the support. I have two more reads here from Reddit. Kick back, throw on some headphones, and I hope you enjoy.
My friend's life seemed perfect on Instagram. I found out it isn't so perfect after all. My friend Callie has a perfect life. I mean, look at this shit. Posted on Instagram a week ago. John made an impromptu campfire in our backyard tonight. We ate s'mores, stargazed, fell asleep. I am so blessed. Hashtag happily ever after. And underneath, a beautiful photo of Callie, John, and their two kids lit by a campfire. The kids were smiling and well dressed. He was handsome as always, smiling, a shadow of stubble along his jaw. She had a full face of makeup, a cute dress. I mean, really, do other moms have time for that? Because I sure as hell don't have time to put on all that makeup. I barely even have time to go to the bathroom. Okay, maybe I was a little jealous, but I mean, come on, she was beautiful. Her husband was some sort of hotshot doctor. Their kids were perfectly behaved at playgroup. I was a total disaster compared to them. The next day, there was another update. Even on my bad days, John is my sunshine. Today he made me dinner, my favorite, hashtag eggs benedict. And he tells me I'm beautiful, even when I'm not wearing makeup, hashtag love my hubby. Underneath, another perfect photo. Although this one was even worse, trying to look imperfect. Down to earth. She was clearly wearing makeup, but natural enough that I couldn't argue her on it. I could just make out the caked layers of foundation around her left eye, more than really seemed necessary. I wonder if she's got super dark circles under her eyes, or, ooh, a huge pimple. Then I frowned. You're being mean. Of course she has embarrassing imperfections. So do you. So does everyone. But I couldn't help but be jealous. Every day of parenting my two kids, I felt like I was spinning out of control, barely keeping it together. Only one diaper blowout or a three-nager tantrum from going insane. This woman, she was actually enjoying motherhood. What the fuck? Look at this woman, I complained to my husband one night. She just posted a new photo of her kids in the little fort John had built them in their finished basement. My husband is so talented. He built this fort for them in only one day. It's absolutely perfect. Hashtag perfect and hashtag magical. Look at the little doors. OMG. Nice fort, my husband said through a mouthful of Doritos. Do they sell those on Amazon? No, he built it. That's awesome. I narrowed my eyes at him. How do they have the time to do stuff like that? It's ridiculous. We're barely staying alive. Here. Nannies, he said, shoving more chips in his mouth. What? They got a nanny, obviously. She does all the lousy work, cleaning up poop and doing laundry, and then they have time to fuck around and build forts. Huh? That was a possibility I hadn't considered. I smiled, feeling a little better about myself. Yeah, maybe that's it. I stared at the photo. The two kids stood inside the wooden fort, which looked expertly constructed. Inside, the little girl and the little boy poked their heads out, smiling. The little girl's hair was perfectly pinned back with a bow, and the boy was wearing a fancy button-down shirt. Behind them, the basement was clean. Even the toys had been all put away. John crouched next to them, handsome with his wavy dark hair and brilliant white smile. Perfect. Magical. I felt a pang of longing. Then I turned off my phone, rolled over, went to sleep. When I woke up, there was already a new post from her. It was a selfie of her and him, standing together on a boat. Behind them, the sun rose, painting the sky in beautiful hues of red. An open sea glistened and sparkled. My hubby surprised me with a wonderful trip out on his boat. Feeling so blessed right now. I love him more than anything. Hashtag everything, more than life itself. I stared at the photo. Something seemed a little off about it. For one, he was holding the camera. Usually when I saw couple selfies, the woman was holding the camera because the man never really wanted to take a selfie in the first place. And the way she was sitting was weird too, leaned up against him, her arms tucked behind her. A horrible realization hit me. I scrolled up through her last posts. Hashtag happily ever after. Eggs Benedict. Love my hubby. Perfect. Magical. Everything. Taking the first letter of each hashtag, they spelt out something. Something horrible. Help. Me. I glanced at the post of her on the boat at 6:32 a.m., a little over an hour ago. More than life itself. He was going to kill her. I grabbed my phone and called the police. After hours of searching, they finally found them. Callie, tied up on her husband's boat. John, armed with a knife. When the police searched the house, they found 2 kids locked in the fort in the basement. Scared, crying, but completely unharmed. According to Callie, John started beating her months ago. He gave her black eye, and then, a few days later, took her out on the boat, planning to throw her in the water, never to be seen again. She knew he checked her phone, read her texts and emails, wouldn't allow her to make a call without him in the room. So she sent out a message through hashtags, hoping he wouldn't catch on and hoping that someone would hear her plea. Help me.
It comes closer when I sleep. I've been awake for 4 days and I don't know how much longer I can last. A few hours maybe, not through another night. I'm so tired I can't focus, drifting off if I sit down, forgetting what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm posting here. The name, I think, caught my eye. No sleep. It was something to do, something to keep me awake. When I close my eyes, I can feel it, watching me. Too long and it begins to move. I'll snap awake to glance a shadow in the distance. Movement out of the corner of my eye, so I can't sleep, or it will reach me. I can't let it reach me again. The 4 nights since it began feel like a lifetime. I was lying half asleep in bed, a little after midnight. I always keep the window open and I thought I heard movement in my yard. A cat, I thought. Or maybe a fox. I tried to ignore it, but no, this sounded different. I got up and went to the window to look out. It's strange how we change when we are alone. Before my wife died, I would have ignored it, I think, dismissed it as paranoia. I wouldn't have been struggling to sleep in the first place, not with her beside me. She might have heard it and I would have told her not to worry. But she's been gone for 2 years, and I'm a lonely old man. So I worried, and I looked. Nothing. No cats or foxes, barely a breeze in the dark, just trees and grass and weak moonlight. I went back to bed, but in a few moments I heard it again. The same sound, movement. Something at the window downstairs, or maybe the door. Stupid, I thought. Just the wind. But no harm just to check. Pulled on a shirt and flipped the lights on and went downstairs. Nothing now, of course. Still, I closed the windows and checked all the doors were locked. The house was always so quiet on my own. I climbed back into bed and tried to relax. Deep breaths. I remember thinking how I had to get a decent sleep or I wouldn't be any use the next day. Not a young man anymore. An hour or so passed, I think, before another sound snapped me awake. A creak from the stairs. I didn't move. Just lay in the dark, eyes wide open, listening. I didn't have any pets. All the doors and windows were closed. The stairs only creaked with weight on them. I breathed slowly, silently. After a few minutes I sat up, looking at my door in the darkness. Nothing. I walked slowly to the door, opened it a crack and peered out. Nothing there. I opened it further. Of course there was nothing there. I was a little angry at myself now, slammed the door and pulled the covers up around my neck. 15 minutes maybe, before I was asleep again. I didn't really wake when I heard it. It was just a faint scraping noise, like a nail pulled across cloth. I barely felt it, like something sharp, dragged across the covers at my feet. I opened my eyes and looked into the dark. It was standing at the end of my bed. In the snatches of sleep I have since, I see my wife, before she passed. Exhausted and frail, trying to keep her eyes open. It seemed like she wanted to tell me something, but the words never came out. We didn't have children, no family still alive to speak of. It wasn't a problem when we had each other, but when someone is the world to you and you lose them, you've lost everything. I began to dream of her, and then I felt it watching. See the memory of it haunt shoulders and long arm. Reaching. No, stay awake. Push it away. For how much longer? I couldn't go home after it happened. I tried to stay around people, busy places I could stay awake, where I wouldn't be allowed to sleep. The streets of the city center. I wanted to ask for help, but who do I ask? I would look and sound like a crazy old man, dirty and exhausted, living on the street. Maybe I'm not thinking straight, too tired, too scared. How would anyone help anyway, even if they believe me? What if it hurt them too, and it was my fault? I don't know why this is happening to me, so I don't know if I can pass it to somebody else. Can't be responsible for that. I would think I was going crazy if it weren't for the bruises where it touched me. I waited until a public bathroom was empty and I looked in the mirror. Not really bruises. My skin is turning black, peeling away around my neck in the shape of those long, thin fingers. I try to hide it under my collar, but it burns to the touch. I don't want to think about it anymore. I can see the bridge from here. I think about jumping in the river to end this. But then I think, what if it's there in the deep, waiting for me? Always so cold, I can't seem to heat up. The night is here and the streets are getting quiet, getting dark. My numb old fingers too cold to type. My eyes are stinging, eyelids heavy. I can't stay awake much longer. Why am I writing this? I don't know. I just want someone to know I was here, I think. That I didn't just disappear. It's coming closer. I can feel it. I can't stay awake.